Careful, I'm frail. Yeah.
Okay, that should do it, Mo.
Hey, it don't hurt no more. Ha, now I can focus on my crippling emotional pain.
Let's go.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten.
Lighting up our lives. Steady your lanterns.
Patio lanterns.
In our special place.
Okay.
Is this our special place, Curdy boy?
This
Here on
is
the
our
pod?
the special place. Yeah, it's not necessarily a physical spot like Silent Hill, but it moves around. I mean, we are obviously in our own chairs, but our studios move, and we are virtual. We are on the air. We are live on the patio, and the people are rushing through the doors right now. I see those viewers pumping up. Those numbers are going way up. Yeah. How you
This is our
doing,
time
Ryan?
to shine. Yeah, I'm doing good over here.
You're decked out in the swag.
Swag. Yeah, it feels good. These are it's a nice Penny Lanterns vest that I'm wearing. Very good pockets. I keep on noticing that.
I haven't used the. Oh, are you just hands in
Pocket.
there? Hand warmers?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do with my hands sometimes, so it's good to have a spot for them.
I very much can relate to that.
Yeah,
it's
and-
why. Sorry, no, you go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ryan.
Both of us don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because I'm looking at a very handsome Kurt Yule over here. He's
Changed.
very clean shaven. It's almost like a Okanagan summer look.
You know what? Up until this week, it has been an Okanagan summer. I think it's been like similar for you as well in Nelson. I'll let you get to that, but it did. I would say we got our first. I'm in Penticton. We got our first snowfall of 2026 2 days ago, I think. Of course, it did not last on like the pavement, but like the hills have snow on them a little bit now. It's kind of melted because today was really nice, blue skies and sun. But there's a little bit of snow on the hills and on the grass and stuff. The road's nothing there, but we got a tiny bit of snow. Other than that, it's felt like spring basically since right after Christmas. It's felt like March or something, March or April. So I think we had like a little bit of tiny dusting of snow in November, December, and then nothing, and then just something the other day. And now it looks a little bit more wintry just with the white stuff, but it's definitely felt. It's been warm. I've liked it actually.
Yeah, it's caused me a little bit of anxiety, not gonna lie. I looked up some
What are you worried about?
data, and Penticton only got 9% of the normal precipitation for January. 9%, Kurt.
Always with the numbers. See you accountants.
Yeah, you wanna go
1
for
0
five?
1 0 1 0 0.
Yeah, I don't live in Penn City, buddy. I'm not gonna go over there and say, yeah, well, it's actually kind of dry over here. Like you could.
Can't we just speak like human beings having a podcast instead of just throwing out statistics?
Are
at me?
numbers not part of your humanness, Kurt?
No.
Is logic not a part of who you are? Huh?
Logic, sure, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think illogically sometimes, though. Think outside the
You're
box.
just so trapped into this whole world of emotions, and it's all started with Silent Hill. You've just been Silent Hill this, Silent Hill that, marry this, marry that. And I'm done with it. I want to hear all about it, and then we can put that away.
I'm not even sure we have time for that. I think we leave it for the end.
You tell me we don't have time for Silent Hill.
I'm
Okay.
looking at the notes. There's been stuff that's been building up over the last couple episodes. I mean, Silent Hill was completed like a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if we'll even get to it. I spent 40 minutes by myself rambling on Twitch after I completed it to give you an idea of how much I have to say about that. And I've only had more time to sit and think about it and research it because you just had to figure out what the hell just happened. But we got to leave. There's more pressing stuff. I want to start. I'm taking control. You're the director. You have the director's outfit on, but I'm taking control and I'm directing this episode. So we got to start with the most recent hot news. I don't know how much you caught of the other games, but what a day of Olympic men's hockey. Insane. 3 out of 4 games were absolutely insane, including the Canada Czechia quarterfinal this morning, which is quite nice. Coming home from the gym, 7:40 a.m. They start on time in the Olympics. They don't do that in the NHL, but in the Olympics, 7:40 means 7:40 puck drop. And the boys went out there, and it was, I said, send a message to you when we were talking. I said, oh, good game. And then it turned into like an amazing game as it like just kept going on.
Yeah, incredible way to start the day. That was the only quarterfinal game that I saw. So you're gonna have to fill me in on what happened in the other ones. But Canada, Czechia, yeah, huge roller coaster. No one's getting a whole lot of work done this morning if you work remotely. I mean, I unfortunately got brought into a call for the third period, so I missed most of the third period and came back right when Canada tied it up. But
oh wow,
yeah, incredible game. Love the back and forth. Great job by Czechia. The goalie for them really almost won the game.
Dostal. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, I was worried about getting pulled into a call. I had the calendar open, but I never know. My job right now, it's like, what's next? And I feel like I can get called into a meeting at any point. I was open, so I was like working kinda and watching. If my boss is listening right now, I was working and watching out of the corner of my eye.
You can multitask.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go chronologically throughout the day. So that was the second game. The first game is Germany, Slovakia. I didn't watch that. That was earlier, and Germany got whooped by Slovakia. And we'll probably come back to Slovakia at some point. But they've been like the story of the tournament because they move on now to the semifinals against the USA. And I don't know if anyone was thinking Slovakia was going to the semifinals. So congrats to them. I mean, they're kind of like they're the underdogs, I mean, right now. So good for them. That was the only stinker game of the day because it was like 6-2 Slovakia, I think, over Germany.
Right.
And then so we want to go to Canada, Czechia. And Czechia has been a thorn in Canada's behind recently, but even in the past, because in the past they brought up the old we weren't around then, I don't believe, but the old shootout loss to Czechia and Dominik Hasek, and it was a big controversy because Gretzky never got to shoot in the shootout. They said, Gretzky, you're the best player in the game, but we don't need you right now. And they lost this in the shootout. And I don't know if that was a medal game. I think that was just some elimination game, maybe a semifinal or something. And in the World Juniors, if you've been following that the last few years, Czechia, I think they eliminated Canada again this year. But anyways, they kind of just stick around, and all these other hockey nations, you think of Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, all these other ones, though, outside of that have just gotten better and better and better. Czechia, Slovakia, obviously. And then even you have, Latvia and stuff, Denmark putting up good efforts. I mean, even France, before it got away from them, were like hanging in there, I guess, for a little bit.
The French are such assholes.
Yeah. They kicked their own teammate or their own guy out of the tournament. The game, obviously Canada was the favorite, and people have been hyping up Canada, and they beat Czechia earlier in the round robin.
Yeah, I believe it was 5-1.
Yeah, so that was their opener last week. That's a bad. I did not like them lining up against Czechia in this quarterfinal, not because of the recent history it has talked about of Czechia kind of upsetting the Canadian team, but because the Canada had already played them and beat them. I don't like that. You want to be on the losing end. You saw that like last year in the Four Nations tournament, another hockey tournament for those unaware. That was just Four Nations. Canada lost to the USA, and then they beat USA. And I think you saw it in the 2010 Olympics. I think they lost to the USA in the round robin, and then they beat the USA in the gold medal game. Like, I feel like that's kind of the prototypical way to go about it. Is like people. I mean, the players were saying it kind of like tongue in cheek a little bit, like Natchez or someone on Czechia was saying, "Oh, we knew we wouldn't be able to beat Canada 2 games in a row, so we'd let them have that first one." But there's something to be said about it a little bit, like. It is hard to win 2 games in a row in a tournament like this. So I did not like that they were facing Czechia for the second time and they had to beat them again. And it was as close as it gets with that overtime winner. But
yeah, let's drill down there. What do you think of the format for 3-on-3 overtime?
No, I don't like it. No, not in this. Maybe in the round robin, you could get away with it. In an elimination game, it's no good. I believe they used to go. They might have gone straight to a shootout or something in the past in the quarterfinal. They have very complicated rules because they have all these insane tiebreakers. First of all, for the different groupings in the round robin, and then when it gets into like extra time or shootouts, they've got like multiple stages. Think of it like the Hunger Games or something like that, or I have never really played it, but like Fortnite, where the ring's closing in on you and they up the ante. They changed the rules on you, and so I don't think the rules are consistent from the quarter. I know they're not consistent from the quarterfinal to the gold medal game. So I believe for the gold medal game, it's like continuous 3-on-3 or something. Which is crazy as well. I don't think there is any shootout. I think they just go 3-on-3. In 2010, if you remember, that was a 4-on-4 golden goal by Sidney Crosby. 3-on-3 is crazy, or it can be. They've kind of like dumbed it down in the NHL a little bit. It's like overcoached, but it doesn't belong in an elimination scenario. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're in a rush to get the ice time for whatever's happening afterwards. And you touched on it before. Puck drops at 7:40 and they mean it. Like they're dropping the puck right then. And they're thinking about this for the next few games as well. They're not going to mess around with 4-on-4, 5-on-5 overtime because what if it goes another 2 periods and then the whole schedule is messed up? I think they want precision and they want that game to be done with. As far as 3-on-3 versus a shootout, 3-on-3 is incredibly exciting. I don't know if I would prefer a shootout or 3-on-3 than a shootout if they really had the goal of getting it wrapped up at a certain time.
So in this case, I think there was going to be like 10 minutes of 3-on-3 and then a shootout.
Yeah, I think that's very exciting. I mean,
I don't like the shootout. I'm almost surprised the shootout is still in the NHL. I feel like everyone is over it, except maybe you, apparently. But I don't like the shootout. So I'll take 3-on-3. But as close as you can get to continuous 5-on-5 overtime is where I want to get to. So I understand what you're saying about the timing. That is a big reason why some of these teams. Czechia played last night. Like they're playing back-to-back games. They had to play and win to get into this quarterfinal. So you're playing back-to-back. You can't be going like it's so much to ask to go like extra overtimes, and they have to play the next day. But then really importantly is just the schedule crunch with all these other games and events happening. It becomes impossible. But I feel like, I don't know, even a 4-on-4 was better. So 4-on-4, feel like they could do that for 10 minutes maybe would be better than this. I don't know. I want to talk a little bit more about this game and the hockey a little bit. Okay, so it was Sidney Crosby out, and he looks kind of done for the tournament and hopefully not for the year. When he goes back to the Penguins.
Okay, tell me more. I haven't looked up anything that happened in the other 2 quarterfinal games or what happened to Sid. So Did
you not see the injury?
I saw it, but yeah, what did it?
There's no update. There's no update yet from the team. I think they're going to issue an update tomorrow. They had some like rah stuff after the game that came out, and Mitch Marner said like Sidney Crosby stood up in front of the boys after the second period, and Coach John Cooper said something like the vibe, or I'm not sure if he said it or he's saying the guys, the players said it. They're like, this is not going to be Sidney Crosby's last Olympic game. So they kind of rallied around that to win, is what they're saying. But first he got hit and like kind of someone fell on him. Gudas fell on him, kind of, I guess, almost like Tom Wilson fell on Fiala in that Switzerland game a few days ago. And it was awkward. But then Sidney Crosby got like sandwiched by a couple Czech players later on. But I think it was that first hit pretty clearly, because after that he was kind of limping on the ice, and then he was on the bench grimacing, and then he limped down the tunnel, and then they showed like replays and showed some photos, and there's a lot of speculation. Like it looks bad, and the way he was limping looked bad. So for me, it was like I looked at him, watched him limp, and it seems it would be surprising if he come back, but I mean, you really have no idea. Sometimes you see people take these freak injuries, and then they just kind of it ends up being like a Charlie horse. So they just end up walking it off. It ends up being a really bad Charlie horse, and the next day they're back at it. And you hope for that. But to me, I'm expecting him to be out for the tournament. And then hopefully it's not serious, like really, really serious, where he's having surgery or something like that, where he's missing the rest of the year, because the Penguins are actually having a surprisingly good year. So no real update on Crosby. We'll find out tomorrow. You'll have to get your news elsewhere, because I don't think we're going to do a podcast on that tomorrow. Yeah, so he went out, and then that kind of like threw a wrench in the lines. I was a bit worried, like watching this game especially as it went on. I mean, like anyone, but it was starting to become like the McDavid show, or at least the top line show of McDavid, Celebrini, and even McKinnon.
God, I love that line. Yeah,
I do and I don't, but I've seen it so much, on my own team, where you're just relying on one line and a couple players, and that's where it was going. Was like all tournament long. It was like they're rolling 4 lines. Obviously, the top line is that McDavid Celebrini line, and then whether it was Wilson or McKinnon on it. But they were rolling all the lines pretty good, especially like the top 3, I would say. And then in this game, as they were trying to get some offense going, it was really just McDavid's line. And I was really worried about that. And they weren't getting it done, or they weren't scoring, obviously. But then other guys stepped up. Suzuki scored the big tying goal, and then Mitch Marner scored an unreal goal, to be honest, in overtime. that was unreal. He's had some big moments. Yeah, I mean, what else do I want to say? I mean, like, what a game. Anyone can win in a 1-game scenario. So I mean, Canada was the favorite. They're probably the favorite to win the thing. Maybe the U.S., I guess, but Canada beat them at the 4 Nations last year, so I'd say Canada is the favorite still. But what a game. I'm just glad Canada came out on top, but obviously worried about Crosby. But I think they could still win this thing without Sid the Kid. It'll be tough.
All spot on. I think Canada's weakest point historically has been our goaltending. Binnington's looking pretty good out there, knock on wood. He's been solid, clear number 1 at this point, and we'll see how it goes from here. But I feel like if you're talking about the over-reliance on just one forward line as our weak point, I think Canada's weak point is still Binnington. If something goes awry in the semifinals or finals, I feel like it's going to be our goaltending.
No, that's too easy. It's too easy to say, well, if the goalie fucks it all up. Well, obviously, because they're the most important position. Like, if they let in 10 goals, well, obviously, that's the weak point. I want to talk roster.
Well, why didn't you figure that one out, Kurt? Huh?
I want to talk roster on all teams, but mainly Canada. So, first of all, 2014.
Well, first of all, I got to retort a little bit here before you go off. I mean, Czechia's got their star goaltender. I wouldn't say Binnington's the star of Canada's team. Like, he's not carrying the team on his shoulders. He's doing a good enough job to let us win, but he's not carrying the team like some other goaltenders. All right, back to you, Kurt.
Okay, but
Yeah, let's
has
go
Canada
here.
ever had a team that would need a goalie to carry them? They've always had Gretzky, Crosby, McDavid, Niedermeyer, Pronger, Coffee, or like they've always had
Sure,
the
we've
best in the world.
Martin Brodeur out there. Sure, we can have a real.
He's not
stack.
on Gretzky's level though. He's not on Crosby's level. He's not a top 5.
Yeah, well, I'm not
ever.
saying that we need someone to carry a goaltender to carry a team on the back. I'm saying that that's the weak point in our armor here. It's the weakest point in Team Canada.
Yeah, that might be true. Although I'd maybe, I think you could argue it's maybe the defense core.
Yeah,
but yeah, everyone was saying
there still.
Yeah, everyone's
Drew Doughty.
I want to get it.
He's going a little. He's looking better. He's looking a little faster than in the past. But yeah, we're getting distracted. 20 minutes in, we got a lot to get to. What happened to those other 2 games?
No, we're not. We're still on this one.
Yeah,
it's Carey Price. You forgot about him. He was really good for in 2014, but that whole team was amazing defensively. But the roster decisions, all I see is complaining about roster decisions leading up to the Four Nations tournament last year and then leading up to this one. And I see it for Canada, and then you see it for USA and other teams. It's so lame. I feel like you're just nitpicking over the littlest things. Like, I can't believe so many people were so hard on Binnington not making the team. For me, he was pretty easily going to make this team because they do not have the Connor Hellebuck or the Henrik Lundqvist, the Carey Price. They don't, Martin Brodeur. They don't have those star goalies. Yes, they have other goalies having better seasons, but Binnington won it last year. He's won the cup. Obviously, they were going to put him on the team, and he's been fine. And he made key saves today. That breakaway in the final minute against, I think that was against Natchez today. He's just been there, and he might fuck it all up next game, but you could say that about any goalie. So first of all, there was so much whining about Binnington making the team and possibly starting. I think it's just lame, and it's just wrong. The defense of Canada, I guess you could pick apart. Like, really, USA has an unreal defensive core. That's where they really have an advantage. Canada, I feel like there's a pretty steep drop off after Cale Makar. And that's the area where I feel like it might be the weak point going into the semifinals and potentially even the finals. Like, especially today, I didn't really pay attention to the defenseman that much, but really I noticed when Cale Makar is out there, and they relied on him a lot today. And then I even looked at ice times after, and it is a drop off. Like, who are you trusting out there? And you hate on Drew Doughty, but
Morrissey, Shea Theodore,
Josh Morrissey wasn't playing, but and Theodore, I think he might have been like at the bottom of the ice time chart. So I can't really say how each guy is playing individually because I haven't really paid much attention to them, but you kind of look at the roster and it's a little bit underwhelming on the defensive side. I mean, it's obviously not going to match the last 2 Olympics where they had Niedermeyer, Pronger, Keith, Weber, Doughty in his prime, that sort of thing. But it's like, after Makar, like, who are you really, really trusting in every situation? And also, who are you trusting to put up offense? Because I see Cale Makar doing things out there, and then I don't really see anyone else. And that's where I think maybe you could use like a Schaefer or a Bouchard, but those aren't without risk because Bouchard will flub it here and there, and Schaefer is just a rookie. But those guys could put up some offense, and that's where I could kind of nitpick it. But then after that, it's like, I don't know, who are you replacing these guys with? Like, who are the obvious omissions on this team? And I would go forward wise too. Everyone's like crying about this guy or that guy making the team, but it's like, I don't know, it's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was even talk about not having Celebrini out there because he's too young. But hell, he got 3 points today, I think.
Yeah, something like that. He's right behind Connor and
Mm.
in points there for the tourney. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally wasn't sure what they were going to do with Celebrini and Bedard. And then I think around November-ish, it sounded pretty likely that Celebrini was going to make it. Just listening to like the insiders, they were pretty confident, and he was lighting up the league. So he's been amazing. Imagine the team without Celebrini on it, right? Imagine then what? Then it's McDavid. It's just the McDavid show
That's
entirely.
David.
At least in a game like this. So Celebrini has been amazing. You also wonder, well, I guess you could wonder, well, maybe they should have had Bedard on it. You see how good Celebrini is doing. Maybe Bedard would have done well, but I don't know if we would have met that level.
Yeah, maybe McDavid has that Joe Thornton kind of effect where he just elevates everyone around him. You know, you put Celebrini on a different line. How's that going to look?
They could do that. I mean, yeah, that's what I was worried about. I'm just worried about them relying on McDavid, McKinnon, and Celebrini. So hopefully how this game ended is kind of goes into the following games where some of these other guys get a chance and they put up some offense. So the other games, and I only watched bits and pieces, but Switzerland was up on Finland 2-0, and then with like 6 minutes left, and then Finland tied it up and they won in overtime. And so Finland advances, and that's who Canada plays in the semifinals. So another comeback and another OT victory. And then just before this show, our podcast, USA and Sweden were playing. USA was up 1-0, and then Sweden scored in like the final minute or two, and they went to overtime, and USA Quinn Hughes won it in overtime. And I mean, Sweden's kind of fumbled this tournament, and they somehow ended up in that spot. But they almost won. And so it wasn't just Canada that was kind of clenching their cheeks. It was USA too, and then I guess Finland as well to an extent. But crazy hockey today. So the next games are Friday morning. Which I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Huh. Friday morning, folks.
Okay. The only other thing I want to add about the Olympics, very limited commercial breaks. Beautiful. Just nonstop hockey nearly and during playtime, during the actual periods. And how nice is it not to hear, see, smell any sports betting bullshit when you're watching these games? No ads on the boards. They got the Olympic ribbons.
Dude,
which they
the
changed
ads
out,
on the boards, that kills me in the NHL. Just cheapens it so much.
ads on the jerseys, I don't know. Did they have some on the helmets? Probably not, but maybe they did. But the lack of ads, lack of commercials, sports betting.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to get your son or daughter gambling on the game. And no, Olympics says no. France kicks their own player out of the tournament for doing this to the crowd or something. I don't know. Yeah, none of that.
Yeah, it really freaked them out, didn't it?
Yeah.
They can't handle the pressure. But you know who has a lot of good sports betting is the NFL. My God, the Super Bowl. Let's talk a little bit about that. I'm assuming you watched the game?
A little bit. It was really boring.
It was a bit of a snoozer. Not
had it on the background.
really a whole lot to talk about there. I mean, yeah.
You just said, let's talk about it. You can't say that.
We have to talk about how little there is to talk about. It was a snoozer of a game. It was boring. I mean, I thought that the Seattle kicker should have won MVP because up until like the fourth quarter, he was the only one putting up points.
Who did win MVP?
Yeah, it was the Seattle running back. What's his name again?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
Kenneth Walker the third.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that would have been cool if the kicker won MVP.
Yeah, like he was the only one putting up points. It was so boring. Like no big throws. Everyone's just playing very defensively. You got the Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny. Pretty good performance. I thought it was hilarious how there was a conservative mega halftime show that was anti.
Where was that, by the way?
I have no idea. I still haven't watched it yet. But it sounded absolutely hilarious having Kid Rock out there.
Yeah.
Just doing his thing. God, I love that. Yeah, so maybe we'll
I
have
don't.
3 Super
It's
Bowl
so
shows
weird.
next year to tune in on. Maybe they'll have like split screens, but
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
sports
have
betting
starts
ads.
having. We're gonna have start separating broadcasts and all events between
Mhm.
liberal
The
and
woke.
the woke and the unwoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I knew it was
Weird.
happening, but it was like a weird thing. Like, who's watching this? Why is there a need to have a separate halftime show?
Yeah,
Just
they're
watch the
sensitive.
damn
They're
game.
sensitive little
Just don't
beings.
watch the halftime show if you don't. I don't
Mhm.
know. It's so weird.
Yeah. Agreed. Super Bowl, it was a bust. That's not uncommon.
Yeah.
A lot of times the more exciting games are in the conference finals or before that. But yeah, same thing for any tournament, really. I don't really have any more notes on the Super Bowl. I unfortunately didn't get to watch any the ads live. Like we had the Canadian channel,
Oh.
just had a bunch of repeats going. A lot of good food was
Ads are
had.
bad. They're getting worse too. I had the
Mm,
American channel on, but I wasn't really watching.
right.
Ads are going down too.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
Yeah.
Everything
Downhill.
sucks.
On shitification, people, look that up. Look up
Yeah.
that word after the pod.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the food always makes it. For me, I'm kind of like a food coma after the halftime show. My food of choice these days for the parties are root beer floats. Get some mug
Oh,
root
fuck
beers and some
yeah.
ice cream. Everyone else is thinking about the savory snacks, nachos, chicken wings, pizza. But someone shows up with like some craft root beer or just mug root beer and some vanilla ice cream. Like that's a hit. That's an absolute hit.
That's a weird one. I think it's weird. I like it. It's weird,
Yeah.
especially to show someone showing up with ice cream.
Yeah, someone thought I was
It's not
joking
like-
at first until I gave them a float in their hand and they had the time of their lives.
Were you the host?
Not this year. I hosted
Okay.
last year, but
Wait,
switched
you
to
brought the
different
ice
host.
cream. You
I
brought
brought the
float?
ice cream. Yeah.
That's
Brought
weird.
some non-dairy ice cream for my guy who could not digest lactose, but
Okay.
he left anyway. So anyways, we had all this ice cream, all this soda pop. But yeah, it was a hit.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be all over wings. More like meaty kind of foods, like wings. Pizza goes without saying. Something like spring rolls or dumplings, stuff like anything like that.
Oh.
Sliders would be amazing.
Oh.
The root beer float, it might be too much because I'd be focused on. I can't imagine downing a root beer float after wolfing down wings and pizza and stuff.
I can. That was
But
awesome.
I love root beer and ice cream. Oh, but also I kind of have I don't know if it came up on the podcast before, but I'm kind of like some things are best left separate, and ice cream and pop is one of them. I mean, I'll take it, but I'd rather have a cup of root beer and a bowl of ice cream. Don't mix that shit together.
Hey man, who hurt you? What's going on?
It's like,
over
why
there?
would you water down both things?
So when you plate your meals, is it important to not have like the peas touching the mashed potatoes?
It's not that. No, it's not like that. And that's fine. That's just touching. We're not totally mixing it, but no, it's really just the ice cream and the pop specifically.
There's no like, I guess, what's that thing with the Coronas, the Bulldogs? That's kind of
the
are you
slushy.
anti-Bulldog?
What is
It's like the upside down Corona in that big.
But is there other liquor
slush.
in there?
I don't
Is there
know.
other alcohol?
I thought it was kind of like slush plus a beer.
Like lime slush and a beer,
Yeah.
maybe? Yeah, I think it is. I don't think there's like tequila, is there?
I mean, I could see them sneaking it in there. And you might
That
not even
is, yeah, that's it's a bit of a delicacy. It's I think I could be convinced into putting that into the root beer float territory where no, just leave it. Like just give me my beer. Why are you giving me this enormous slushy? Like now I have to get through all this slush crap to my beer, or why I got to get through all this beer to my slush. But that's I feel I see that rarely, and then I'll order the odd time, but I think it's more of a novelty thing. Like, look at me, my fucking upside down
Yeah,
beer.
it's
I'm on
like-
vacation.
It's kind of
I
like
don't-
ordering fajitas at the Mexican restaurant. Like you want a little bit of attention.
Yeah,
And that's okay. Like sometimes I want that. Sometimes
A
I want
very
that.
you
Sometimes
thing.
I don't.
yeah.
Depends on the
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah, the Super Bowl stank. Yeah, I had it on, but I wasn't really watching a lot. So, yeah. Okay, you want to do Canada Shore?
I have to admit, I've only watched episode 4. Did not get to episode 5
And
before.
you're just telling me this now?
Yeah.
And we delayed the podcast episode for Monday,
Yeah.
even though this was like the central part of the episode was Canada Shore. This is why are we even podcasting right now?
Because we can talk about episode 4.
Well, yeah, okay. I don't, but then I just blurs into, I don't know where episode 4 and 5, 4 ends and 5 starts. I do have some notes here, but it does get blurry. Okay, episode 4 of Canada Shore, because Randy didn't do his homework. Episode 5.
I tried, guys.
Famously did not. Episode 4. So the big news was Snooki arrives. And she arrives for all but 20 minutes. She is there for half the episode, which in real time, I don't know, was that half a day? She is in and out of Kelowna so freaking fast. What was even the point of bringing her there? Apparently she's coming back. I think she said something like that. I'll be back.
Yeah,
she's barely in it.
They didn't even give her a goodbye from that episode. It was kind of just like it was a big entrance, and then all of a sudden she was just gone. Like there was
she had enough of those crazy.
Yeah, she's like they were working at the t-shirt shop, and then she's like, "All right, doesn't even say goodbye, just leaves to catch the next flight out of Kelowna."
Yeah, did she not? I can't really remember.
It
was
no
2 episodes
goodbye.
ago for me. So
they just switched to the drama of the whole bed situation. Chris.
Oh yeah,
it's dumb. Like Chris lost his bet. Thinking that he'd be faster at 100 meters.
What an idiot.
Isaiah, just fucking dumb. And then he totally just bitches out after. And
you saw that coming.
Oh, of course. But yeah, I think justice for Emmett there. I mean, no one even in that episode talked about the fact that he was the bigger man in the first episode where he just gave up the bet. He's like, it's not worth it. And Chris just took it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit annoying to watch. What did you think of that whole situation?
Yeah, everyone's had a situation like that. It's a big piss off for me. Like, I would probably do like the Emmett thing in like the episode 1, what he did, and it's like it's just it gets to a point where it's like this person is unbearable. It's not even worth it. Have the fucking bed. But then it gets to a point where it just boils over, and Emmett did not know that Isaiah had already submitted and said, Chris, you can have the bed after they were arguing. Then he said, you know what? I see this bed means a lot to you. You can have it. And Emmett did not know that. So Emmett was sticking up for his buddy Isaiah a little bit. And then it gets to a point where you just dig in. You commit, and which Emmett did. He commits and he just digs in, and then it goes off the rails. Chris is the worst person. I hate Chris. He's the worst person. And then it was Chipgate. Emmett tosses a bag of potato chips in frustration, hits Chris in the face, causes huge drama. Emmett has an existential crisis after that. There's like he wakes up in the middle of the night. He's hunched over his bed, head in his hands, thinking about his life choices. He's on the outside. Everyone's giving him weird looks. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, it was tough to watch. And then I'm watching there. He goes and apologizes to everyone in the hot tub.
Yeah,
and then everyone just goes to console Chris. Like when Emmett's the one apologizing and being more vulnerable. That was hard to watch for me. It's just like, oh, come on. And I'm looking at my boy. Is it Ethan? Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, he's a real peacekeeper. What's Ethan need? He doesn't create any drama, but is he just the peacekeeper of the whole group? Because he doesn't really chime in too much about his needs, but he seems to be the glue keeping the shore together here.
Yeah, and I forget if it was that. No, it was probably that episode. I'm not sure if it bleeds into the next one, but he does carry on with that, like trying to mediate. He had that, not an incident, but there was a little bit of drama just because he was hooking up or kissing MILFs. And then Lila wasn't upset about it. And then there was the whole thing on the tiki boat. But everyone's kind of starting to find their roles, their hats in the household a little bit. And his might be peacekeeper. Emmett was also taking it like this was a whole anti-Emmett episode because it was not just the Chris stuff, but it was Riley was being like she was being horrible, like going after her boss Dax. Who's this Dax guy? Have you seen Dax in Kelowna before?
I've seen Dax before, man. Yeah,
you've seen him.
I think he lived in my building.
Oh,
yeah,
because
I remember there was like in the parking lot in my old apartment. Yeah, there was always be this Kelowna car, and that's the brand that dude runs for the t-shirt store.
So they go in pairs and try and sell t-shirts for Kelowna, and the boss is Dax, and the ladies love Dax. They love his look. And just Riley invites Dax out after, and they go out to Red Bird, and they just immediately start making out.
Absolute highlight. You look at the crowd, the Kelowna locals out there. Everyone, the camera pans to them, and everyone just staring over there, just in shock at what they're witnessing. I'm picturing like a chill kind of afternoon, and then all of a sudden, this group shows up with cameras, and they're just making
dressed like insane too. And so that's so funny because they're like, we're going bar hopping, and then they proceed to go to like these sleepy little breweries the whole time. So they go to
they went to Rustic Reel, Redbird, and I think they ended at
and then Kettle River.
Yeah,
and they always have like a private table too, so they're kind of like doing their own thing. But and I'll freeze frame to see if I can recognize anyone from.
Oh,
Kelowna.
I did at Redbird. I was like, oh, there's got to be. I really hope there's someone I know here, but it's still escaping me.
It didn't look like, I don't know what time or day it was, but it wasn't really a banging Redbird night at that point, but maybe it was still early. So it was like casual vibes, and they roll in. The ladies are dressed like whatever. The guys are also whatever. I mean, Ethan's probably got his hockey jersey on.
Again, Ethan can blend in with the crowd here.
Yeah.
I can't say that about everyone else.
The guys, I mean, they just, sometimes they were color coordinating. I think they were all wearing like white or something. I don't know. They just wear whatever, and then they take their shirts off. But yeah, then so Riley starts making out with Dax immediately, and she thinks like nothing. She thinks nothing's wrong, and she's doing it right in front of Emmett.
Over.
And it's just nonstop drama between those two, on again, off again, snip, snap, snip, snap, and then. What who's it? Who's the girl? Kiara, brings some girls over to meet Emmett because they were eyeing him up. Apparently, is that real? I don't know, or manufactured. And then Riley is pissed. Nothing happens. These random girls come over and talk to him. Riley is tongues down Dax's throat, and she's pissed that Emmett, I don't know, is she into or not into, is talking to these other girls, and then she's ranting. She's mad at Kiara. They have their screamo match, and she's got the ick for Emmett. She's over Emmett, and then I don't know. I think they're already back together by the end of the episode. Maybe that's the next episode. I don't know.
Yeah. That about sums it up. But Snooki just comes in, does a little cameo, and then is
crazy for Snooki.
Snake, absolutely snake out there.
They love Snooki.
Yeah, she's like their counselor. Like just kind of shows up, does a little one-on-one, and then all right, back to.
They fly her from New Jersey, the other side of the continent, and she's in for 20 minutes. And she does these one-on-ones.
I really liked the Snooki intro where they were like showing the panos around Kelowna, and the way they put it all together. It was like she was going towards Knox Mountain, and then she goes across the bridge. And
the bridge
back
shot
towards the airport, and then she goes over to the shore house. It's just all over the place. I like to think that they're just taking her for a real tour of the town.
Yeah, totally. I noticed that as well. Yeah, barely there. Yeah, just a lot of yelling and screaming, a lot of drama. And then it kind of carries over into episode 5. Yeah, it definitely carries over. I'm just reading my notes on the side. It carries over into episode 5, for sure. So I do want to pull one thing out of episode 5
Yeah, go for it.
because there's a line. So I thought the whole setup was they were spending the summer together in Kelowna in this house. Then I think we heard in like episode 1 that they were spending 1 month together.
Mhm.
We know roughly when they're there because they were there for the Canada Day fireworks and they
Yeah.
were there for Rib Fest. I looked it up. So Canada Day for our South Korean listeners and others is July 1. And Rib Fest for basically everyone in Kelowna was July 4th through 6th. So they were there for Canada Day and Rib Fest. I also question you, are they living in that house every day? And you said, yeah, you think they're living in the house, recording all the time. And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they might just show up, record, and then ditch out or go to hotels. So there's a line in episode 5, I think from Lila, that talks about she's in the moment. She says, I've only been in the house for 5 days. And then I was like, wait, 5 days? They were there for Canada Day and they were there for Rib Fest. And now we're past that. We're like 2 or 3 episodes past that. So what does that tell you? That's she's got her math wrong, highly likely, or
Burn.
there's something sneaky going on here. And it's more like my theory where they're out of the house and they come in to film maybe Friday, Saturday, and then they're out, because that's probably 10, 15 days it should be by that point. What do you think about
Wow.
that?
Wow, I never considered it, but maybe those cheap bastards, yeah, they only want to rent out the house on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, just
And
think about how much
they're-
you would get so much crap you'd have to cut, first of all, but just how hard would it be to be filming these guys 24 hours a day for 31 days in July?
Mhm.
So that's why I kind of brought it up. Like, I don't know, are they just gonna film all this? And Lila had that line, and I was like, something's iffy here. So you have to watch out for that when you watch episode 5.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So you think that they would just all fuck off to an individual hotel, just hang out for 5 days?
I
and come
guess
back
I would.
together?
I'm just speculating. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is they might have a separate hotel set up with unique rooms for each of them. Yeah, because it's not like they could have filmed. It's not like they could have filmed it over like one weekend and then pretended to spread it out, because we see Rib Fest happening and we see Canada Day happening. So we know they're on location July 1 and July 4th to 6th. So it's just a matter of, were they there July 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or were they there July 1 and then they had a breather, clean the house, fix the script, and then they're back for July 4th to 6th kind of thing. And then now they're past that, because Rib Fest was in episode 2 or 3. And
Well, I guess it
we're on
makes
episode
sense for
5.
as far as the going out part, because they seem to have a night on the town every episode.
That's what the people
And
want.
you and I know Kelowna, and there's not a whole lot happening on some of those weeknights.
Yeah. It is a little bit different peak summer, but still. I mean, I was also thinking that when I looked at Red Bird, I was like, oh, well, maybe that's just like a July Wednesday night or something. So it's got more of a crowd than the off season, but it's not a weekend. So I don't know, something to think about, something
a little
ain't
conspiracy,
right.
a little
Yeah.
Canada Shore conspiracy, eh?
Yeah, they won't let me in that house. They will not let me in there. Yeah.
Okay, something to look forward to.
Yeah, and episode 6 will be out. I think maybe 6 ends. I don't know. Just episode 6 will be out And they were going to the farm. They were going to wrangle some cattle or something, milk some cows. They were going to the farm next episode.
Yeah, they should have had us out there to
Yeah.
show them what's up.
Yeah.
That'd be real cool in a cowboy, huh? Yeah, I'm just reading the episode descriptions. Episode 6, they go to the ranch. Episode 7, Snooky comes back with wine-fueled blowouts. Yeah, I've been waiting for a big winery episode, so
Yeah, I want them
all
to
time.
show up all trashy at a winery. You're right.
Yeah.
Like they haven't done that. Going back to their brewery hopping, it's very tame. Their nights out so far, but that's kind of Kelowna to be fair. Like I feel like if you're kind of banking on summertime outdoor festivities for an opportunity to go crazy, like they're missing center of gravity. That girl dying at center of gravity kind of ruined it or maybe did multiple people die there? Maybe over the years, but I thought there was like a recent one, and it ruined it for Jersey Shore here. And now they have to go to the corral, and they go back to the corral. Spoiler alert. So now, yeah, I'm getting in my episode 5 notes. So they ran out of bars already, so they go back to the corral in episode 5. Just a teaser for you.
Okay, goddamn.
Yeah.
Huh. That's life on the shore, hey?
Kelowna Shore, yeah. Okay, what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I went skiing. Went out family day. Monday, the old day off, and Mother Nature really delivered. Had 18 centimeters up there at Whitewater. Beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm really pushing it. I'm going hard. Got a good group of skiers that are like elevating their game. And I catch an edge, go flying, and go like kind of chest first, hit my neck, and all of a sudden I feel this like crack from like the top of my neck down to like my mid back, and I'll tell you what, I've never felt better. It was like this perfect chiropractor adjustment, just like, and just all of a sudden my left shoulder has all this mobility that I didn't have before. So, shout out to the mountain for fixing my back for free. That was awesome.
Who knows what other effects it might have had on you? I'm surprised.
Right.
Maybe you're noticing an extra hair or two on your head. Maybe the ability to properly digest gluten. It reminds me of the Homer had set up like a chiropractor business by just throwing people over garbage cans, like laying down a round steel or metal can and then just throwing people over.
There's something to it, I'll tell you. Don't think too hard about it. Just kind of huck yourself off like a big sharp hill and let nature take its course.
Were you in kind of like, were you feeling immobile or in some sort of pain before that, or it's just a new sense of freedom you never thought possible?
It's a new sense. Yeah, I didn't even know my shoulder was locked up like that. Like,
yeah, is it just one now that's like way more mobile?
Yeah, it's true. It's like I do feel like my right shoulder needs a good cracking like that, and that's my mouse shoulder. So it's like I'm kind of chronically raising it a little bit depending on my seating situation, but. Yeah, I'll look forward to that in the future if I can maybe land on my right shoulder next time, in just the right way. It'll just put everything into place because, I went and saw one of these chiros last year, and I have the benefits for it, which is awesome. But this guy didn't even crack my back. He didn't even crack my back. He has this little instrument telling me that it's the same as cracking my back. And then it's just tap, 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 tap. It's like it's kind of like this. He's saying it's a lot of force and acceleration, and it'll be just as good for your back. It didn't do a damn thing for me. I want the big whoosh,
Yeah. You need
that's what I'm showing up for.
It's it's more than half the reason people like love chips. Like you want the crunch. You want the satisfying crunch.
Yeah.
If you're going to a fake doctor like a chiropractor, you want the sound effects, right?
Yeah. So I'll have to find another one of these chiros, and get a good crack going.
What is the deal with was there an avalanche or something? What happened on Monday?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been a busy couple of days. Haven't been able to watch the episode 5 of Canada Day. My apologies, everyone. But on Canada Day, it was wild because there was all this snow, and then I believe a Cisco delivery truck got stuck on the one road up to Whitewater, and all of a sudden we can't get down the hill. We were supposed to leave at like 2-ish, and then all of a sudden, we see all these cars backed up. No one's leaving, so we just keep on skiing. Just keep on skiing. The lifts are still going. We're having a great
so
time.
you hadn't left the parking lot yet?
No, because no cars are moving, so there's no point
Okay.
just sitting still, and
Yeah.
there's no cell phone reception up there.
Yeah.
So I was getting worried about Luna because she would have been at home. I left at 9 a.m. and I ended up getting back at like 5:36.
Yeah.
And I was, that's a fucking long time to leave a dog. But thankfully, my girlfriend was able to give her a little walk, so everything was all good. But I get back.
Did she know?
She didn't know. She was popping in to kill time between patients, and that worked out pretty well. But then, coming down, I I got a new couch that you're really gonna love.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was coming on Monday, so I come back and there's like a gajillion messages, voicemails. People are like, where the hell are you? This delivery guy came with the couch. He doesn't know where to put it. No one's here. Luna's barking. She has to go talk to my neighbor. He doesn't really speak English that well. And it's just the whole ordeal. They end up putting it in my carport, thankfully, and the couch was okay. But coming back down into cell reception, it was like, I got to call Kurt to cancel the podcast. I'm worried about Luna because she hasn't been let outside. There's this couch that's getting delivered. I have to drop these other guys off that I was skiing with. It was just a big gong show of a day. And then the roads, like I was going like 20 kilometers an hour. Like everyone forgot how to drive. The people in charge of snow removal, for some reason, didn't put down any dirt or sand. So it was just like a sheet of ice out there. And like even I was sliding around everywhere in my truck, and a bit of a crapshoot of a day. And what can I tell you? And then yesterday, the guy calls me saying he needs help with his sailboat. It's moored up on this beach next to me. All right, let's get out there. And then
wait, a random guy?
Yeah, this guy from my men's group. And the sailboat rudder was just like buried in the sand. It's like 20 feet long. Like the boat's 20 feet long, and we had to like rock up and down to get this thing out of there. We had to call on other boats to try and tow it out. Turns out like the chain for the mooring had broken off, and this thing was just slamming up against shore. It was real busy couple days for Orion here. But what can I say? It's things are okay when your back's all right? And with that back crack, I just have to remind myself and take that pause that everything's going to be all right.
That was a big win, I think. You don't want all this negativity to overpower that. So
Very true.
Wow.
Yeah, I see why we had to delay the Silent Hill business.
And we didn't even get to Resident Evil 3
Oh my god.
yet either.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's I knew we
Little
had
teaser for you next episode. Maybe next episode we'll get to my stool sample results.
Yeah, we're gonna have quite the backlog. This is actually my last episode of Patio Lanterns until I come back from vacation.
Oh, you had me there for a second.
So we are gonna be out unless you want to do a solo episode like that one time in 2019, January 2019.
Yeah, good year.
I'll be out for a few weeks, so we might not be talking to you guys till end of March, let's say. End of March. And so we'll hold on to your stool samples, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, your and Resident Evil, Olympics, anything else that happens. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So what frigid place are you going to next?
Surprise, I'm going somewhere warm. I'm going to the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought it's about time I went somewhere warm again. So yeah, it's this week it's been cramming. Obviously I don't know, one of us made time to watch our homework. So that was me. I watched like Canada Shore, but in between all the stuff.
I'm sorry.
Got my hair cut, ready for the Philippines, shaved off my mustache.
Okay. You want the tan.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know if the hair affects the tan, but
that's what
I want the short hair for it's just easier. It's more manageable.
Yeah.
It gets all wet and sweaty, and it's been like 2 years since I've had it this short.
Are you doing one of your G adventures out there? You doing a solo trip? What's the plan?
Solo, and man, like it feels like I spent so much time planning it. This reminds me of why I do those group trips and expeditions. It is so nice just to click something and yeah, and then maybe one more click to book some flights, and then it's basically set. I've kind of just crammed this in the last couple months. I was thinking about it for a while, but it wasn't until January I booked my flights, and then it's been planning. And the Philippines aren't really that easy because it's just islands. It's freaking islands, so you just have to ferry or fly everywhere. And it feels like I spent a lot of time planning it, but yeah, totally solo in it this time.
And just Philippines, or are you branching out to other countries as well?
Just Philippines, man. There's so much ground to cover. I found out pretty early there's so much that I was not going to be able to see and do. There's a lot of other islands and places had to cut. Just Philippines, and I feel like 3 weeks is kind of the minimum. Almost 3 or 4 weeks was good, so I went 3 weeks here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
A little scuba.
Yeah, I'm back into diving. I'm gonna get back into diving. I got to do a refresher. It's been a while, so that's one of the first things I'm gonna do when I get there is some diving. So I'll do a few dives for sure. That'll be cool.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I just had to let this all sink in. No patio lanterns until end of March.
Yeah, I leave Saturday.
Okay.
I'll be actually up in the air when the gold medal game is being played. I believe the gold medal game is extra early on Sunday. I think it's at 5 a.m. Pacific time.
Whoa, okay. Good.
I'll be in the air hoping Air Canada has it on. I mean, not saying Canada will be in that game, but I hope they are, obviously. And I hope they'll be playing it and I can maybe watch it on the plane. But yeah, leave Saturday, arrive Monday, 9-hour time difference, and just get to it. And it's just hopping around islands and getting wet and hot and burnt and diving, shipwrecks and whales, sharks. And
I'm sure you're going to mix a couple beers in there as well. Hey.
Yeah. And you know what? What do you think? Do I look leaner? Does it look like I've been mewing? Actually,
kind of. Yeah. I was going to say, get that buccal fat removed.
So someone made a comment today, and now I've been looking at myself all episode long on the webcam. Huh? Like,
yeah, you kind of been
like lost weight. I thought maybe it was the haircut because you kind of cut off all that excess hair. You spike up the hair. All of a sudden, you look taller and slimmer. But I have dialed it in, Ryan. I have been focused since Christmas time. Haven't gone crazy like you and gone sober, but I've just refined the diet just a little and just a little bit extra in the gym. And I am ready to rock and roll.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. Yeah, you can be that guy turned influencer working out in very aesthetic gyms in the Philippines. Like I want to see you just hucking some big old weights around, big old chains, getting ready for whatever CrossFit thing.
Yeah, no, I don't. There could be an opportunity for maybe a couple days of gym use, but otherwise not really gym use going on over there for me, I don't think. Just, I don't know, be fucking swimming around or something, walking. I'd like to walk a lot, so.
Big walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll come back to Penn City and it'll be springtime.
There'll be the real springtime, not this faux spring stuff. So, yeah. No, it'll be good. It'll be nice.
Wow. Okay. I have to pause and take a moment that, the warm weather, Kurt Traveler, you don't hate yourself as much. You're not pushing yourself to go to Antarctica, right?
Man, there's something that draws you in, though. Like if there is something that draws you in other than a Mary to a place like Silent Hill. It's like you just want to go there and mope around a little bit and just there's something like I deserve this a little bit. I want I want it. I love the pain. What is it? The Alex Jones. I love the pain.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost wondering, is it going to be too touristy for you in the Philippines after going to places like Antarctica, Bhutan, Mongolia?
Yeah, I mean, Antarctica gets their tourists, but just because you have to boat in and out, it's not the same.
I guess it's like all tourists.
But yeah, that's true. I mean, Nepal was last year, and that's super touristy. So yeah, it will be busy. I kind of have an idea of what to expect in certain parts. Certain parts I think will be extremely busy. It is peak season there. So whatever. That's just what
Whatever,
happens,
bro.
you know. People want to go to all these destinations, and it's only just gonna get worse pretty much everywhere. So
You still trying to find yourself?
you know what, I might just give up on that a little bit. I'm just gonna have a good time. I don't think I'm gonna find myself in another physical place. Less looking outward, more looking inward is what I've been focused on lately. Namaste, bro. So I might find myself, but it won't be because I'm out on an island in Palawan kayaking in a lagoon or something. It'll be a Resident Evil revelation while I'm sitting in a sun lounger or on a little boat or something, and I just eureka moment maybe, but I don't know.
God bless you. God bless you.
I'll write you some poems or something.
Yeah, send a couple love letters back, will you?
Yeah. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Do you have anything else?
That's all. I think that's all for the pod.
So you watched all of Canada Shore now before next episode. So you don't have episode 5. That's another surprise. You got to finish the whole freaking season, and then I'll binge it in. I'll get it done. I get stuff like that done because it's important for the pod. So don't worry about me, but we will have a lot to talk about next episode, whenever that is. So thanks for joining us, and good evening, good night.
Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone, and I've made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. I'm just another heart in need of rescue.